Alright, so it's May 24th, 2018, 5:25. Making another blog, or drama blog, or whatever vlog. So I wanted to continue from the last video, which was oh yeah. So Don Cheadham was on the news, and I hadn't seen him for a while. So I guess during that time, made a lot of money or something. I don't know. So, and at that time I was teaching a class at Butte, so I was kind of involved in that. Dan Seward was across the street. I don't know, I guess he had moved away, and I don't know, I forget exactly. I hadn't seen him for a while either. And I was living at Sarah and Brian's house, and they had, and Isaiah was 13 maybe. Sarah and Brian's two daughters, Isabella and Sophia, and I was renting a room there, kind of like a room. So that happened after living at Lily's for I don't know how many months, and then so it was transition. So before going to Cohasset again for a year or so. So I hadn't seen Dan and Seward for a while, Don and Seward for a while, and Don was and then so I get a phone call. I forgot how I even got it, maybe Facebook and then a phone call or something, I don't know. But so he calls me up and he's like, I don't know when that happened, I don't know how, but it was during that time. What did he say? I forgot. So he tells me he's going to, whatever happened, he's going through some shit. Something, I forget, but he wanted to meet up or something. So I met up with him twice around that time, and it was kind of weird because it was out of the blue. It was what the hell, So the first time, I think it was the first time, I can't remember. So I think the first time was at Bedrock over in Oroville. And during this time I was going through my own shit that the job, and then getting fucked with by the community or whatever, here and there, getting people just getting, I don't know, it goes, I'm gonna go into next some of the stuff that happened with Seward, but So I was already pretty, still, being me, but still being defensive about things. And the job was like hiring me and then not hiring me. So I wasn't making enough money, even though the job paid decent. It was, yeah, kind of similar to what's happening at the moment, where you get a job and then, but it's never, I don't know. So basically, you just don't get enough. And the drama, or whatever. Like right now, I got this work, and happened all through San Jose and the area too. Where the money over there had to pay a lot more, but I don't know. Like I'm on a week and I'm off a week, so even if the job pays good, if I work throughout it, I can actually have a good foundation and get what I need to get done. It's only 1 week, so it's barely enough to pay my bills, and and it's funny because then you get like people want to scrutinize and be like, hey. It's weird how things can control your life. So that's kind of, like I said, making these drama blogs so that they can put things in their place, and all these naysayers or all these people that want to put their story in my life could hear my version of since I'm been in the middle of my own story, of course, like this is what really happened. So I see this dude, see Don for long, haven't seen him forever. He's like, yo, and so we go to the park. I'm dealing with all this other stuff, dealing with my son. He's trying to act up and trying to man up on me, and I have to discipline him. Like, so I'm dealing with Sarah and Brian. Like Brian's trying to like, be my son's father. At the time, it wasn't like a big deal. Like it wasn't like over. Like my son was still a young guy, so he wasn't partying as much and all that stuff. But it escalated, and that's kind of why I'm still upset about it. But what else? Oh yeah, so meet up with Don, and he's like, oh, I don't know what he tells. He doesn't tell me much that. It was kind of like we sit on this bench thing, or and there's this girl with a dog, and she's playing like frisbee with the dog, and she looked out of place because the place was like, hella empty and like kind of dirty and everything. Like nobody kept it up, and so I was like, man, the place is pretty thrashed and stuff. And but yeah, so that girl, she was good looking, well dressed, like 20-something-year-old. And she was like, she was like right in front of us, like not too far. So I was kind of like, first of all, I was like, oh, that girl's kind of cute. But then I was like, it's out of place, so I was like, I noticed it more. And like I said, other stuff was going on a couple years before that, so I was already like hypersensitive to, but not reacting to stuff. Somebody was so, so he was ignoring her. So I don't know what his issue was. He was saying something about how he had to sell everything, and he had something about having to get a lawyer from LA or something. I don't know. He was just telling me a few things, but I was just like, I was like, damn. First of all, he was my friend. He was my friend, and like, so I was like, damn. That's some pretty heavy shit. And so that was for that one. And then I had my guitar with me, so I was trying to play some music, but he didn't want to hear no music, so I was just at the park and kind of made it kind of nonchalant. Really, I was not about everyone else's drama, even though I was involved in everybody's drama. I was trying to minimize the level of drama. So that happened there, and it was just weird, man. I mean, I don't even want. So at this time, another thing happened. Okay, so I meet him again. Let's go there. So he's like, yo, something, come. I got house arrest or something, or can't leave after 8 or 5 or dark or something. I don't know. And he's like, I'm at my dad's old house or whatever, by Palermo. I forget which one was first, but I think this one was second. This one was actually more in depth, and so went to he had a trailer in front of his dad's trailer house, and they had a bunch of like mobile homes and stuff, like, or not like, the ones you drive around. So I was like, what? Like a boat and like, fancy shit. I was like, oh damn, man. So I guess he bought his dad like all this stuff or something. I don't know. So I go there and I'm like, what? And he's like, so I go into this like, I guess it's just a mobile home, the one you drive it. And then and I don't know, he said he's staying there and all this stuff, and then he starts telling me stuff like, oh man, like, what'd he say? He was like, kinds of crazy shit, like, fucking was making a bunch of money. Me and Jen split up, and she's with some other dude, this black dude that was like some, what do you call it, like a reggae dude or something, a Rasta dude around town. I guess he owns a shop, smoke shop around town or something, I don't know. Like I said, all this stuff like kind of revolves around all this weed people. So he's telling me this stuff, and then he's like, yeah, the FBI probably videotaping or recording everything I say and do, and at this time I didn't really think about like I didn't think my situation was like at that level. I thought it was more like more local, getting fucked with the local, because that stuff that I said, with the dude that his family made violins, like, told me some shit, and I kind of was trying to put a few things together, and the stuff that I'm going to talk about that happened with Seward was more, like these white folks that were getting all their guns and doing Fight Club in the fucking woods and all, and firefighters and all this weird shit other shit that was going on, other than Dawn. Like, Dawn that was like minimal on my awareness chart. Like that was just like, what, like, that's weird, but I kind of just put it into the place where I knew all this weed shit was going on, and he got busted, or whatever. So he's telling me that they've been wanting to bust him for a long time, the local law enforcement, that they didn't like him, and that they were trying to find stuff on him. And I knew this story before. I've had family members that had law not like him. But he was local from there, and his dad, they're white folks, so I don't know, I guess they just made him a lot of money. I don't know, and that's kind of the norm, where they let you make a bunch of money as a drug dealer, and then they'll bust you, and then take all your shit, and then you owe taxes. And so basically just make money for the city or for the people's pockets. So that's what I thought they were doing to him. And but he was like, yeah, I'm fighting it. And I'm like, which is more than just a drug deal, because the guy was missing or whatever, and it was out of town people, which that was what's been happening around Butte County for those years in like 2000, before I even was aware of it. But all these people in the mountains, they were buying properties up, and so all this stuff was happening at the same time. And when I moved to Cohasset, that's when I started getting more like caution, like seeing it for myself, like, because in Berry Creek, where the Deandas live here and there, like there was like all these other weed growers over there, so all the mountains had like all these people buying properties, because I grew up there for a long time, so I knew people, and as far as like family members and people like Dawn or Sarah and people I went to school with, but I wasn't part of like that group, so I was more hanging out in Chico, dealing with the art crowd over there. So I wasn't, and they were doing it, but I wasn't really like buddies with any of those people. So like it was just hearsay. The people at the bars, we were playing shows, and I was doing art shows and stuff at the bars and coffee shops. So those are the people I got to know, were the people that were own the bars and the coffee shops. And so, all white folks, but like kind of like part of, small business owners or whatever, but they had money. But little did I know that they were also, everyone was all involved in this pot growing stuff, even Isaiah's friends, parents, and stuff like that. So it was everywhere. I just didn't know, and I didn't care, like, because I wasn't doing it, so it wasn't important to me. But I knew people were making a lot of money. So he was another dude that was making a lot of money, ended up getting busted. I didn't know that he really made that much money. Like, when I saw his shop, I think during around the same time, man, I thought I didn't see him that much, but I guess I saw him like 3 times. So, okay, so this time, so he's telling me all the stuff. He's like, I'm selling all my stuff. I'm trying to sell this guitar. You know anybody who wants a bunch of old cars? I'm like, no. And something, and so it's like nighttime, and like he's showing me, he has his amplifier. He's like, hey, you want to buy my amplifier? Shows me this cheap guitar and this amp, and I'm like, which I was kind of surprised. I was like, wow, man, like you had all this $1 million and now you don't have nothing. So I don't know. He said he was spending all his money on the lawyer in LA, some famous lawyer, and like something. He was actually in jail, I guess, for a while. That's when the first time he called me, that's when he said he got out. And then I met him up at the park, and then a few days later, or a week later, I don't know how long it was. I don't think it was that long after, is when I went to his dad's house, and that's when he was telling me all this crazy stuff, telling me his life story about how he was all into making drugs and whatever, and hookers, or not hookers, but like, what do you call that, fucking dancers, the chick dancer. I don't know what he was talking about, but I was just listening. And but it was, he was sober and everything, so it was kind of like, okay. And he's trying to sell stuff, and I'm like, dude, I barely got enough money to like survive on my own, like pay my own rent. But I was like, felt empathetic, because shit, I was going through some shit too. So when I was going through shit was when I was living in 42 Oak Drive, like 2 years earlier. I was renting a house for a few years, like 5 years. And I knew that they were fucking with me, because I don't know if I already went through that. So there was a lot of shit that was going on. So when he was telling me his stuff, I was just like, oh, hey, I'm going through similar shit. I think they're recording me too, which they actually were. So I don't know if they were recording him, but maybe they were. But what's funny is, because at Butte College, when these people were telling me all this racial shit that was going on, and there was like people dying, like people getting killed over drug stuff, there was shooting in Oroville, like all this shit on the news. And so, you know, I was aware of all this stuff in Chico, racial shit in Chico, but drug stuff in Oroville and everywhere else. So I was just like, you know, kind of like, fuck, you know, just trying to do my own thing, you know, trying to be an artist, you know. And then I was already ready to exit. That was the whole point of me giving up that house on 42, was to get rid of all my shit that I've been carrying around, all this extra junk, and organize it, get ready, and go like travel the world and be an artist and have, you know. And I was having conversations with Isaiah and his mom during this whole time, telling him, you know, being a father and being like, hey, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that, and he was like, Dad, why don't you, you know, live your own life, why don't you go find a wife and do your own thing. And I was like, you know, like, and so finally and this happened after this, so at this time he was still young, and we were just like fighting over dominance of me telling him what to do, and I'll go into that in a moment. So Don was there, that's what happened with him, and that's all I know. And then I said, okay, later, and that was pretty much it with his story. That's the last time I really talked to him or anything, or seen him. Oh no, I saw him a year later. He came to Cohasset and had a wife and had a new girlfriend that was in her early 20s, and she was pregnant and with his kid supposedly, and they had a kid, and or they were having a kid, and he was, you know, racial shit started coming up about white people and Mexican people, and he had some alcohol, and Ruben was there, and they were drinking, and they were kind of arguing too about racial shit, and I was too, and he had his 2 sons with him. So I was just trying to play guitar and be cool, but at the same time, during that time I was actually I was more involved with some of this other stuff. Like, I was more aware of some stuff that was happening, but also thinking about racial shit more, and thinking about symbols and all that, you know, like just kind of these not really dreams or nothing, just like learning about, kind of processing all the stuff that I've learned from 2009 to 2000. That was like 2014. So I was processing all the stuff at the mountain and doing my art and all this stuff. And at the beginning of Cohasset, when I was in Cohasset, I'll go into this more, but it was like I was working at Butte, but then I stopped working at Butte. So I was really just up there doing my own thing, doing my art. So my mind was more on the overall idea of what's going on, not my own specifics. So I wasn't engaged in the conversation too much, but other than listening to the racial stuff that was going on. Okay, so I hadn't seen him for a while. So that was it. So at this time, I was, like I said, I was living at Sarah and Brian's house. So Sarah and Selena, they were like, her and Brian had gotten in a fight or something, and he threw some water on her, so he was in trouble with the law, because Selena was living with him at the time, and that's her older sister, half sister, and so she called the cops. Her and Brian, I guess, didn't get along, and so she was like, so I guess he got busted for that, for anger management. He had to take anger management classes or something. And so what else? Okay, so when I get there, or she says like this and that, oh, you know, you need to come be here because I'm worried that he's gonna go crazy, burn the house down or whatever, and you know, like fatal attraction shit or something. I don't know. she made it sound like dire, and that's what Selena was saying, that she made it sound dire to her too, and that's why Selena moved in, but she never left him, so because I guess they had gotten divorced before that. So Selena left, did her own thing, I guess, and so when she asked me to do there, she's like, oh, well, if you're gonna pay rent over there, why don't you just pay rent over here and tell me the story? And I was like, okay, well, all right, like I get a watch over Isaiah. First of all, was the more what I was more concerned with, and I was working at Butte, so it wasn't far from Paradise, and that was it. And the room was really big. It was like kind of like a second living room. So there was a door and everything between the two living rooms, but I guess it was probably like a garage that they turned into like some rooms. So it was a big house. So I kind of just thought like, okay, whatever, And I kind of let them know. I was like, I need privacy, they have my clothes and everything in here. So that was there was little weird shit going on, like with the situation. But at the beginning, it was supposed to be cool. And Isaiah's room was connected to that room, so it was kind of weird. But it was there was a door out to the backyard right there, so it was kind of its own little space. But at the same time, like I don't know, it was like half a house almost. So I could put all my stuff. I wasn't planning on staying there long. She like put a mattress there. I guess they had a mattress there. I don't know. When her mom would stay over, and so they just had that there. And I was like, oh shit, okay. And they had a TV and everything, and like so all this extra shit was like it was all furnished and stuff. And so I was like, whatever, that's cool. I can chill out here for a while. And that happened, and then, but she started like, like I said, there was stuff going on. So she was like, on the fridge, it was like this Darth Vader. So I was like, I'm trying to say something. And then what else? So then she gave me it was during the Christmas time or something, I don't remember, but I was there during Christmas or something. And some birthdays, I forget when, but they gave me like a Star Wars little coffee cups, and so I was like, okay. So that was, so there's little jokes going on. She showed me like a little, I had a little black car that I had gotten from my dad, a little tracker, and she showed me Batman. It was like that, but decorated like a Batmobile, funny thing. And Kanye West book. These are just things that she would show me here and there, like. So I was kind of like I knew people were talking shit, fighting with me on Facebook, but like I said, I didn't know the extent of the drama. So then so Isaiah's there. It's just a weird environment. I mean, obviously, like, she's going through breakup. I'm there. Brian's there. We knew each other for a while, but during all this other time, we really didn't hang out. They would come to my art shows here and there, and we'd see each other at barbecues, and but we didn't really ever hang out. Like, we weren't. And I can't remember. Oh yeah. So before this, okay. So before this, when I started Butte, I was what do you call that? So I hung out with Lisa, and then we broke up, but we'd still do shows, and like she'd be around, like I'd do like open mics or that. So Sarah, like, and Brian, and since I known her, she would always talk about having a coffee shop or something, like some cute little store. and they were making money. So they had that same house, big old house, and like all this stuff, and selling cars, nice cars, and so I was just like, okay, like, I was just struggling doing my art stuff, but I had moved back from San Francisco, so I was doing all right. So when I was there, I had him go to Citrus, and so I was kind of like saying, hey, you need to. We were co-parenting, and I was there to make sure that he had a chance to, some stability, from his father at least, but also just like going to the same school and all this stuff like that. More, the outside, and kind of just like foundation to have a good family life and school life. So I don't know what was going on with them and their households, but there's a few things. I mean, I guess my drama just like was everywhere. So my drama fucking pisses me off because I was like, man, this shit could have been better for everybody if like people would have just confronted me or said, hey, this is what's going on, and it would have fucking saved me a lot of years and the reality of it, and it would have saved everyone else a lot of time and effort, and could have just been settled, like until now. It's 2018 and I'm still talking about this stupid shit. But I am pissed off. Like, really, I think about it. I've been trying to think about it. Why I feel this way. It's like I feel unsettled still, no matter what. Like, I don't like being lied about. So, I personally can't have a foundation of what I need to do in life and what I feel what's important in life if I don't clear this stuff up. At least, so I'm trying not to do that out of revenge. Like, I've been listening to the Tao, and some things hit home. Like, to have stuff, you gotta give everything away. It's like these opposites, but so I'm not trying to do this out of spite, but I do have spite in me. So I don't know. So, but this is just, I'm trying to just say it as what happened, like not put too much. So it's like, I guess what I'm saying is it's hearsay. You know what I mean? Like, this is my viewpoint of things, and I'm trying to say what I knew at the time, what I didn't know at the time, so that it leads up to what I'm trying to say. This is life, this is like my life. It's involved a lot of other people, blah, blah, blah. It's like 40 fucking years, like how are you gonna explain 40 years? And all, you can explain one relationship and it takes, again, hours to explain the dynamics of just two people, one person and another person, let alone me and everyone I've ever met, and everyone that's been, but the part of it is like I am upset with some of these people that don't even know me, or didn't even know me, or whatever, that came into my life trying to fuck it up, really bad. Maybe they thought they had good intentions, but they really came in like so I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not the one drama. It was like a lot of shit that happened, and it was, they say it's not racial, but I believe there was a lot of racial issues and all the weed stuff, all this, a lot of dynamics that happened at this one time that just made it perfect. And that's why I can't blame one entity. It was too much for it to be just random. It had to be like some fucking supernatural shit or something. I don't know, like I was, special, but I'm not that special. But my situation has been the situation is pretty rare. Pretty it happens here. It happens once in a while, but it involves so many people that it's like, wow, dude, like. So I still don't know exactly everything that's going on, but I'm not gonna just, this is pretty much the world's. It's the world's. It's no longer my story. It's like part of the world now, and I don't want people in my business, but from what they already seen and known and all these stuff, like, I'd rather have it told by me if it's about me. No matter if there's 100 people that talk shit about me, like, I can talk shit about everybody. I just don't want to talk shit about everybody because I know that's bad karma. But I don't know any other way to deal with the situation at the moment. So they get a cafe and they call it Cosmic Grounds. I don't know why. At the time, I didn't know why. What the fuck, Cosmic Grounds? I don't know. I wanted, it to be about comics. So they were like, oh yeah, we got this laundromat, or I don't know what the fuck, half a laundromat, and they got supposedly cheap rent or whatever. So they were doing all right, and like I said, I hadn't hung out with them, and so they were like supposedly going through problems, but they were still together. So they were like at this time doing good. It's probably like 2011 or something. I don't know. Yeah, 2011. So this is after the Synthesis shows or whatever. So I was out and about doing shit in Chico, and this was just right when I started working at Butte, and I don't know. Miros had came back from it was around this. Yeah, I think she had already came back. I thought she was in San Francisco. I don't know. Can't remember, but it's kind of separate. So this is so much shit. So Cosmic Grounds, they decided to name it Cosmic Grounds or whatever, and I barely was there. Like, I did the shows there because I was doing open mics and all this stuff, and so I had people do music there stuff, and there was this. So what's her name? You know what? Miros hadn't came back yet. She was, I think, living in San Francisco or something. Yeah, she was still in San Francisco, and I'd go visit her once in a while here and there. But she was doing her own thing, and I was still living at 42 Oak Drive, and I'd go there sometimes in my pajamas and get some coffee or whatever. But they were just learning how to do all this business stuff, so it was really their thing. And then Sarah would invite me to, or have me like try to fix it up, do the, make it look nice. So I was like, okay, well. So I was trying to do that, trying to use, and at the same time I was doing these. Matt Houck had his main hobbies. They were like having me do advertisement art for their company, which was a big company. So I was making good money. So I had a little bit extra. They invited Ruben and Sherry, my brother and sister-in-law, to help out, but they gave like $200, and so they weren't really helping out. But so there were issues there. So I was there trying to just help out, and I only gave them like, I don't know, $500 or so. I don't know how much it was, but I was just trying to follow the lead of these other two people, Brian and Sarah, and then, so I don't know what they were doing, but it wasn't running well. So I just let it happen because I was doing stuff with Butte and doing my own stuff here and there, and they were fighting, or like having issues or whatever. So I was just like, okay. So Lisa was still hanging around, and we weren't together. And it was weird because I forgot how we broke up, but I think one of the last times was my ex-girlfriend came back and wanted to hang out, and we were hanging out, and then somehow Lisa used her telepathy and like showed up at the house right when that was happening, and like totally made a big old scene. And I was like, had Minos go in the car, and she was like, hey, I'll see you later, because I was still in love with her, and she was still in love with me at the time. And so she like left, and I told Lisa, and Lisa knew the whole time that what was going on. So that was our breakup, and I don't know, it was this whole weird situation. But me and Minos didn't even end up together at that time. I don't know if this, like I said, this was before I think she went to Europe, or when she was in Europe or something. Before she even went to Europe, she was like, hey, she drove to my house and knocked on my door, and like out of the blue, I was like, hey, I'm leaving, and blah, blah, blah. And so we were still connected, but still doing our own thing. So there was a lot of heartache going on in my heart. So I was dealing with all this stuff, and then when she did go to Europe, it was like all fucked up in my mind and my brain. And so this is the time when all these girls were coming around or whatever. So I don't know. I just remember around the same time Cosmic Ground was happening. I wasn't in the Sarah or nothing. I was just being there. And I don't know if Brian was jealous or not, but he didn't have no reason. I wasn't like nothing. There was nothing from me. And they were still together. So I don't know what was going on. And Isaiah was around. The kids were around. My family and her kids. And so to me, it was like trying to just help out for the kids and like try to make it work so that it could work for her too. I'm kind of bossy if there's a project that needs to get done, and I think it's important, and I'm in the position that I know what I'm doing, I will start giving orders and getting people together and make it happen, make sure it happens good, and get the right people in the place, and so when they were doing their thing, I was just like, oh man, these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing. But I was like, whatever, because Brian was there, and I was like, they're putting all the money in, so I was like, well, it's your guys' show, I'll help out however I can. And after a while, and I kept seeing it was like they were doing pretty good. They got stuff going here and there, and then they ended up giving up at the end. And I was just like, I don't know if it was their own relationship or what, but I was just like, later on I found out what happened, but during this time I was just like, so I started taking more initiative at that time, because I was like, fuck, dude, like I'll put the money in, but I got to make sure this shit like works, so I was like, instead of just daytime hours, let's do nighttime hours too, make it like cool, make it work, because they were saying that they paid a lot more money than they thought, twice as much for the electricity, because they were like, the laundromat, I guess, was like, they had the same electricity bill as the laundromat, so they were paying all this money, all kinds, because it was summer. So I was just like, ridiculous. I was just like, dude, you said it was gonna be like, $700 a month or whatever. Now it's $1,400 a month, or like I can't help you that. Like I don't have that money. And if so I don't know what they did. I don't know if supposedly they sold a bunch of their shit and lost a lot of their stuff, and they were going through some shit. So I was just like there. So part of the story is, so Lisa was hanging around. She had a new guy named James Chato, and that guy was like part of the Synthesis shows. He was like at the second one, and at the time we were kind of together, but during that year we were together or whatever, she would always be at my house, and so we were kind of like, you know, together, but we weren't. I was still going through stuff because she was like, when I had broken up with Miros or whatever, like we had just gotten, it was like right, like a week or two or something like that I had met Lisa, and she like, it was kind of weird because she worked at the casino over in I don't know, Corny somewhere, and she had like this big old truck, a really nice truck, and you know, like that's from that same year, and it was all big and badass truck, $100,000, you know, thinking $50,000 truck. But I guess she was paying bills or whatever off of it, and so she was all worried about money, and she ended up getting rid of it and getting another car when I knew her. So, but at this time, so she told me her life story, and I guess she was like with some dude that was a cook, and a chef or whatever, and then I guess she didn't love him, or she fell out of love with him, and they were buddies, but you know, she left him pretty much and started doing her music thing. And I guess she was like, had this other guy that she was a musician with that was before that guy, that she was married to that guy and got divorced, he said, and she was with this other guy that was like her boyfriend, and they went to Hollywood and did all kinds of, you know, try to make their music thing happen, and then they came back to over here, and that's when she started working at the casino and got married and all this stuff. And then when I met her, she had broken up with, or gotten divorced or whatever from that guy, and she started hanging out with me, and then she sent me pictures, you know, like, you know, and I was like, what, you know, so this girl was like very, like, wanted to be in my life right from the same day and telling me she loved me, like, you know, weeks into it. So I was kind of weary, and at first, I know, she was a good looking girl and everything, but I was just like, so we weren't super boyfriend, girlfriend, like out and about town or whatever, but we would always do our shows and hang out and play music and have fun. You know, she was a really nice person. I let her hang out, you know, talk to Isaiah, and she was a part of my life. She came into my world, and I was kind of part of her world here and there, but you know, so she got to know Isaiah too, and she was really good with Isaiah and everything. So that's a lot of stuff happened. So that was like, a weird situation. Her and Sarah got to say hi or whatever. I don't know. So she was, you know, my family got to meet her and you know, talk to her too. She wasn't like when I was with Miros, she was more part of the, you know, more involved with my family. Lisa was involved with my family, but not all the way, not really. Like, and then something to do with the motorcycle. So what was it? Oh yeah. So there was this girl, Kayla, and she was like James Chato was Lisa's boyfriend at the time, and she would hung out with him a couple times. We broke up, and she hung out with him. So I knew something was going on before that, and then when they finally got together, I was like, I knew, you know. So I was still jealous and stuff or whatever here and there. So when I said later to her, she got with the guy and blah blah blah. So on their Facebook was this girl, you know, Kayla and whatever. She looked kind of young, like not young, but she looked whatever. I guess she was like 18, 19. I was like 30 something. So it kind of looks bad on paper, but at the beginning it was just like we did shows and she was their friend, and so she would come. And watch the shows. And then she'd dress up, and she looked pretty hot, and so, but she was really nice, even though she was kind of ditzy. She was stacked. Like, I don't know, this sounds all bad. I know this sounds all terrible, whatever. And then honestly, like at the beginning, it was just like whatever. But she wanted to help out at the coffee shop, so I was like, yeah, that's fine. And she reminded me of like that girl from Dukes of Hazzard, the blonde girl. She had that kind of ditzy kind of. But actually had like was pretty mature in her understanding of life, of her soul, I guess. I don't know. Like she had a lot of empathy and a lot of like I don't know. She was cool. So she was hanging out, and I think the community got mad at me for but okay, so this is what happened. So she was hanging out, helping out here and there, trying to learn how to make coffee or whatever, and helping out with our shows, and I was like, all right. And so she would be there, and then I started painting the ground when things started going not well with the Cosmic Grounds. I was like, well, shit, I'm gonna make it good and buy some furniture and make it look good. So I started going at it like pretty tough, and it was working. It was fucking making it look good, and that's what pissed me off. Because at the end of that, like when I put all this money in and started making it look good and time and making it and setting it up to make it prosperous, they cut it off, and I think at the end, the agenda was to make it a failure, so that I think I don't know what their whole agenda was, but I kind of get that feeling that maybe they did it not to make it work. So I don't know, whatever their thing was. So at this time, this girl started hanging out more, and at night she would like hang out and help me out or whatever, just hang out. So we started getting to know each other and talking more, and I guess she liked me, and I was single, and I wasn't hanging out with nobody, and we started messing around. So then after I was like, you know what, this girl's too young for me. I can't do this. Even though I thought she was really cool and really nice, and I was still drawing at the farmer's market and stuff too. And I don't know, like I broke it off with her. I was like, you know what, I can't do this. And she kind of got sad or whatever. And I was doing tattoos here and there at the time. So she was cool enough to like still be cool and be friends and kind of like. But I guess she was kind of like, wanted to be with me. So that happened, and the community asked here and there. People were like, oh, I guess it was so much talk about me that this was just another one of them. And around this time, like there was all kinds of girls. Like there was like between 2009 and 2011, I was doing all these art shows and everything around town. That's when me and Miros broke up, was around 2008. So around 2009, I was already doing stuff with Lisa, hanging out, so by 2011 was Cosmic Grounds, and then so between those years, like there was a lot of me hanging out. There was a lot of girls that were out and about in town, and so it wasn't like she was the only girl I ever hung out with, but she was there. And honestly, I got, I'm not gonna lie or whatever, but she was good looking. So if not for the age difference, like probably would have been pretty decent. And but yeah, I mean, shit. I understand, because people were coming up to me after that and be like, oh, I didn't know you looked that young or whatever, like kind of like coming at me like negatively, but then Like, it's just some fucked up shit. And I understand it, but dude, fuck that. Like, I'm a male. Like, I don't know. I know a lot of all this, and dude, there's so much shit that's going on in the media. It's been going on for the whole time. Like, that as a man, like, dude, I can't be talking about shit like this that I'm talking about right now. And everyone's gonna hate you. Everybody already hates my ass already at the moment. Or not, they don't hate me, but they don't want to hear what I have to say. But this is stuff that's unpopular at this time in my life. Like, they're just through Weinstein, and he's going to jail. So this is some shit that's like, Cosby's fucking, I don't know what happened to Cosby, but he was drugging people and shit. And they were trying to get me for that shit. Like, fucking, I don't know if somebody was really kidnapping people in Chico. Well, I guess there was that one guy that got busted that I talked about. He worked at Orville Hospital or whatever, and he got busted. So that shit was going on in the community. Again, I don't know what else happened, but I don't know if they were trying to pin that shit on me, like, because later on in Cohasset, like, I kind of got the whiff of that shit. They were maybe thinking that I was doing shit, and like, I'm pissed off. This shit is not fucking, whoever fucking tried to pin that shit on me, like, I need to know, and I need to know, like, details, because somebody needs, like, fuck that, dude. If that shit's really, people are treating me like that they thought that was me, or that I was doing shit. So I don't know who started all this. Like, this is some sinister shit that they try to throw me under. And, I was just thinking, like, oh, well, they're mad because, this and that. But, and I was going through my own shit, so, losing the woman that I love the most. And it's going to get darker and deeper than, like, seriously. Like, I had a friend, Seward, like, these people in Chico were, like, fucking trying to fucking fuck shit up between me and this girl by a bunch of different little things here and there. Like, they would get me at a place, and then they'd have her with some other dude, and they were trying to, like, have this girl up on me, so they can, like, weird shit. Like, weird shit. Like, if it was innocent and peaceful and whatever, it wouldn't have been like that. But they had some people doing a lot of behind the scenes shit that were real. That wasn't just faking me out in my brain or whatever, but real shit. And like, my story can't really go on until like my version is told, because I don't know what the fuck they're saying about me to make people, act the way they acted. And the things that I do know does not equal up. So that's why I'm going through this. So this is what happened. I don't know. She was half Mexican or something. Her dad was Mexican or half Mexican or whatever. So she was, I don't know. I feel bad. I saw her later at the fucking. I saw her in there. She had another boyfriend. She wanted me to help out fix her tattoo, and I was working with this other Mexican dude that was teaching me how to tattoo. He did one of my tattoos or whatever. But I don't know if he was shady or what was going on with that. But he was like hippie Nazis or whatever. So I don't know. Seemed like he was all right. I had met him at Farmers Market before he got shaven head and everything. But he was a Mexican dude, and he had gotten a shop or whatever. I think people were giving people shit so that they can fuck with me. So I don't know how he got a shop, but he got a shop or whatever. And then I fixed up her tattoo. She brought her boyfriend in or whatever, and so she was still cool with me years after that. And then when I was doing stuff at the fair with my cousin Val and his wife, and like when all these people came around Chico, they were like showed me this. Then that's when she started acting weird. So I don't know what the situation was. Okay, I gotta go. It's almost an hour.